You know what make this different is they ain't never seen this Cam. They ain't never seen him. You wanna know how I know?
How?
Shit, they ain't never seen him. Felt like I was just left to die.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Cameron Jerrell Newton was brought into this world on May 11, 1989 in Atlanta, Georgia, the second of three boys. He was brought up in a home in which athletics and hard work were the main part of growing up. His mother Jackie helped the boys with schoolwork and their father Cecil coached them over their sports lives and weekend activities. Little Cam was a hothead as a kid and stayed in trouble, to the point where he was warned by his mom if misbehaved in 6th grade math class one more time, there would be a pretty price to pay. And it wasn't your typical punishment either. You would think maybe no games for a week, or couldn't go outside, or no TV. But nope, she made him wear church clothes to school. Having to wear a white button-down shirt, slacks, and dress shoes to school instead of sneakers and jeans made Cam stand out to the point where other kids picked on him, which may explain his wonderful fashion choice today. But that was his first real experience into what it was like to be different. But when it came to football, on the other hand, he was on top of that since a youngin', to the point where he would be fully dressed hours before his game even began on Saturdays, shoulder pads and all.
He would come at our bed and say, "Are y'all ready? Are you getting up? Cam, we got 2 hours." This is like 8, 9 years old.
But his dedication carried on to high school, where he would fully blossom. He was a talented baseball and basketball player as well as football, but developed the fear of being hit by a pitch, saying, quote, "I quit baseball at 14 because I was afraid of the pitches. The kids started getting better and throwing faster, and it would have hurt getting hit by the ball, so I stopped playing." Now attending Westlake High School in Atlanta, playing for their football team, as a 16-year-old junior, he passed for 2,500 yards, 23 touchdowns, and ran for 638 yards and 9 touchdowns, gaining the attention from major college programs. In his senior year, he was highly ranked by many recruiting sources, earning him scholarships from Florida, Georgia, Maryland, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and Virginia Tech. He committed to the University of Florida at the beginning of his senior year, becoming part of the top-rated recruiting class in the country for 2007.
Talking to Coach Myers every other week, Coach Dan Mullen, and Coach Dre. It's been a fun experience. It's like a dream come true, getting the chance to go to the University of Florida, BCS school. It's been great.
Following his senior year, he played in the All-American game with some future NFL stars like Dez Bryant, Rolando McClain, Joe Hayden, Golden Tate, Casey Matthews, and Ryan Broyles. During his freshman season in 2008, he was the backup quarterback behind Tim Tebow. He played in only 5 games as a freshman, completing 5 of 10 passes for 40 yards and rushed for 103 yards and 3 touchdowns. That promising start to his career would be shattered the following season. He played in just 1 game before suffering an ankle injury and resulted in him to redshirt that season. Then that young carefree Cam surfaced again, because on November 21st, 2008, he was arrested on felony charges of burglary on an accusation that he stole a laptop from another student. He was then suspended from the team, and court documents revealed that he tried to dispose the computer by throwing it out of the window after investigators left his dorm room. Quickly, just imagine that happened in 2021. It will have the news and social media world on fire. But eventually, all charges were dropped after he completed a court-approved pretrial program. That was just the first of many big accusations around his name, but stay tuned, they're coming next. He then again violated the university's honor code by putting his name on another student's paper and turning it in. He was caught after the professor asked the real author of the paper why they hadn't turned in their paper yet. Then he was given another chance to turn in a second paper, but that paper was later found out to be bought offline. Y'all remember when everybody had EduBirdie as a sponsor in their video?
A super smart guy
to do your essays for you.
Super smart geek. Plagiarism free.
Cam was hip to it way before us, but he was then to appear for a hearing in front of Florida's Student Conduct Committee during the spring semester of 2009, but instead decided his time at Florida was going to be up anyways, so he decided to transfer.
I heard so many laptop jokes. I heard so many you blew it jokes. I want to show people and tell people, hey, I had hiccups in my life, but yet that don't define who I really am.
His dad, Cecil, lined him up to attend JUCO at Blinn College in Branham, Texas for 1 season. Blinn head coach Brad Franchione said it was a long process. It took time to develop a relationship before Cecil could trust him, because Cecil only wanted Cam there for 1 year to revive his reputation. And over the course of his single season at the community college, he did just that, as he displayed one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the nation. To try to get the team fired up, the players were surprised with black alternate jerseys 1 week during the season. That's when Cam showed his energetic spirit as he broke out his pregame freestyle rap, which went viral at the time.
In the building, I'm real hot, to the ceiling, I'm multi-V, I'm going on top of the dome, on my car, I got chrome.
Blinn would go on to put up 84 points on the scoreboard in that game, and Cam had 369 total yards with 7 touchdowns. Eventually, he led Blinn to a national JUCO title. He threw for nearly 3,000 yards with 22 touchdowns and ran for 655 yards. Cam's whole goal when he was there was to win and to get into position to get back to the Division I level. He was dedicated to only football during his time at Blinn. While his other teammates were at the local party for the weekend, you could ride past the field and find Cam out there putting work in by himself. But during his recruitment following the season, Oklahoma, Mississippi State, and Auburn were his 3 finalists. He then signed with Auburn, and it was time to give D1 one more go-round. Starting for Auburn at the beginning of the 2010 season, he accumulated his first win over Arkansas State. He accounted for 186 passing yards, 171 rushing yards, and 5 total offensive touchdowns. At Auburn, he was a dominant force. He led the school to a 2010 national championship. Along the way, he was named both Southern Eastern Conference Player of the Year and AP Player of the Year. He also won Heisman Trophy by a landslide victory with 2,263 points and 729 first place votes. However, controversy continued to shadow him. He spent much of that second half of the 2010 season in controversy regarding allegations again, this time saying his father Cecil had received about $100,000 for Cam to play at Mississippi State after leaving Blinn. Several Mississippi State University athletic boosters reported to the media that during their recruitment of Cam out of Blinn, nearly a year earlier, Jerrell Newton said that it would take more than just a scholarship to secure his son's services, which is just mind-blowing to me, because while Cam is having a wonderful season at Auburn, here comes people out of the woodworks with these crazy accusations. Let's say he wasn't having the year that he was having and everything was going bad. Would this story would have come out? Most likely not, but they don't like to see the black man winning. But anyways, he claimed his innocence, saying, "I haven't done anything wrong. I'm an Auburn athlete and I'm still playing for Auburn. I love Auburn, and that's all I've got to say." Auburn limited the access Cecil had to the program, and he could no longer attend the rest of Cam Newton's games. Just imagine for a second, you playing for a college and you made it all the way to the national championship game, and the coach, teacher, and motivator that's been by your side this whole journey is unable to attend. How would you feel about that?
But I transformed that negative energy and put it out on the field. I'm like, if I gotta suffer for this, somebody's gonna have to pay.
But eventually, it did nothing but added fuel to the fire, as Cam threw for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in a 22-19 win over Oregon in that championship game. And in October of 2011, the NCAA officially closed its 13-month investigation, being unable to find any real evidence of the Newton family receiving any money.
No one took money. And the thorough investigation that they did, they would have found it. If we did, they would have found it.
The turmoil surrounding his college career certainly raised questions about his ability to make it in the NFL. On talent alone, he was for sure a #1 pick, but many football experts wondered openly if he was worth the investment. But with the Carolina Panthers being the NFL's worst team in 2010, they rolled the dice and selected him with the first overall pick. As a rookie, Cam shattered the books, and in his NFL debut, he went for 24 of 37 passing for 422 yards and 2 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. with a quarterback rating of 110.4. He also rushed for a touchdown and became the first rookie to throw for 400 plus yards in his first career game. He quickly became accustomed to his new environment as he threw for 21 touchdowns and passed for more than 4,000 yards, which earned him Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. And the weight of the Carolina fans were on Cam Newton's shoulders. The Panthers wasted no time giving him the keys to the franchise, as he showed precisely why he was the #1 pick that year. In those 16 games, he won Rookie of the Year, most combined touchdowns for a rookie in the NFL history, most combined yards for a rookie in NFL history, and first rookie to throw over 4,000 passing yards. His first playoff appearance came in the 2013 season. It was a rough start though. The Panthers lost their first 4 games to start 1-3. They quickly turned it around and went on an 8-game winning streak starting in week 5. They won the last 3 games to finish with a 12-4 record and earned a first-round bye in the playoffs. He would ultimately lose his first playoff game to San Francisco 49ers. In the divisional round, 23-10, he had 267 passing yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions to go along with 54 rushing yards. In the regular season, he recorded 3,300 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions, with 585 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. He was selected to the 2014 Pro Bowl and was rated the 24th best player in the league on the top 100 list. Cam was an electrifying quarterback who was defined by his ability to be a threat in many aspects. His passing ability wasn't always the hottest, but he could make up on the ground at 6'5", 250 pounds. He dominated defenses. But then 2015 happened. Cam Newton's MVP season was unlikely anything the NFL would have seen since Michael Vick with the Falcons. The combination of a pitcher's arm and a track star speed made NFL defenses shiver in fear. Even then, his game was more advanced because of his power. And I feel like after popularizing the dab, every time he did it gave him an extra little boost. He was a hybrid quarterback, running back and fullback all in one, as he powered through smaller defenders. He threw for 3,800 yards and 35 touchdowns, also adding 636 rushing yards and a team-high 10 rushing touchdowns. He led the Panthers to the highest scoring offense in the league, and his 45 total touchdowns led the NFL as well. It marked the most touchdowns by a single player since 2013. He led NFL quarterbacks in rushing attempts, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns in 2015. He was selected as the 2015 NFL MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, and was just the second black quarterback to receive that honor after Steve McNair in 2003. Newton and the Panthers finished that season with a 15-1 record, which was a franchise best, and earned a first-round bye in the playoffs. They defeated Seattle Seahawks in the divisional round, then went on to defeat the Arizona Cardinals in the NFC Championship game to advance to Super Bowl 50. In Super Bowl 50 on February 7th, 2016, which pitted the Panthers' top-ranked offense against the Denver Broncos' top-ranked defense, the Panthers lost by a score of 24-10. The game was generally a one-score affair until a few minutes left in the fourth quarter. The defense on both teams performed extremely well, which left both offenses struggling terribly throughout the game. Newton was sacked 6 times and Manning was sacked 5 times. Both quarterbacks fumbled twice and both threw an interception. That dominant regular season Cam was called into question after he was completely off of his game. The now infamous no dive on the fumble is what people really remember. And that performance and loss left him distant, frustrated, and angry. All the things media would use on a player to paint them as the bad guy, especially a player at the quarterback position, and when you're black as well, but we ain't gonna talk about that. All in all, it was just a sad ending to a historic season. The 2016 season would be nothing like the 2015 season, and it brought new challenges to Cam. Between suffering a concussion and being benched for violating the dress code, and completing a career worst 52.9% of his passes, the Panthers finished with a 6-10 record, leaving them out of the playoff picture, just after one of the franchise's best runs the year prior. In December of the 2016 season, he took a shot from the Steelers' outside linebacker TJ Watt, suffering a shoulder injury, and hasn't been the same since. Passes in the dirt, overthrowing and underthrowing receivers, Newton kept playing through it though, even as Panthers slipped, and he would even stop running that much to limit the contact on him, and that Superman Cam that was once a thing slowly started to die down. He returned the 2017 season fully healthy and had a bounce back year, but the injury bug returned in 2018. He suffered a grade 1 knee sprain in January of 2018 and later suffered another shoulder injury in October. He again played through the pain until 2 weeks before the end of the season. Then in 2019, he played just 2 games before a foot injury sidelined him for the entire season, which would be the last time he took the field as a Panther. And we all just seen the year he has had as a New England Patriot. It wasn't hot by any means. Now, like I touched on at the beginning of this video, with the world completely out of control day by day, it left the 2020 season very limited on how long it gave teams to prepare. Now, for some teams, it didn't even bother them, as they would be able to hold up on the field. And even for some rookies, as they had some record-breaking performances. So we really can't cut Cam too much slack, but just a little bit. He knew all eyes were on him this year, especially after his off-season show he put on for us. Cam is 31 years old, and while still aging, he's not letting that stop him. Once them age numbers start to rise, your body can't take much as it used to. And I'm sure he knows firsthand how difficult it is to recover when it comes to acquiring different injuries. I believe he has one more year to prove he can perform well for a team before his days as a starter, at least, may be called into question. He said missing much of the offseason took a toll on his ability to play because he was still trying to learn the new system week by week. And I'm sure playing under Bill isn't the easiest at all. What do you think is the next best move for Cam? Let's talk about it in the comments. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and like the video to help us grow. I'm ready to build a community over here, so let's grow together. But like always, it's your boy Cam. Stay healthy, stay hydrated. Until the next one, I'm gone.
And just a quick follow-up, do you anticipate being back here in New England next season?
I have my desires. I know what my heart's at. But as far as that, I can't really speak on that right now. But just my whole time here in New England has just been a blessing. I've learned so much about myself, about great teammates, unbelievable coaching. And yeah, so I just see how it goes and go from there.